Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good one. Yeah. Yeah, Blue Yoda's back, boys and girls, mommies and daddies, sisters and brothers. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I gotta be who I am, you know what I'm saying? That's, I took that down because somebody was, actually saying that they were kind of getting scared, they scared them or something. But yeah. By the way, if you guys don't know, this little dude's name is Grogu. Yeah. So anyway, let me say hi to everybody real quick, and then we'll get into this. G513 is number one in the hizzy. Jacqueline Tester, Muse, what's up? Randy, G513 again. Candy, Missy, good to see ya. Jules, Autumn, Lutz, I guess is the name. Sorry. Gwenda, Toluca, Garrison, Angela again, Olivia, Darren, Robert, Tab, good to see ya. Robin again, Colby, Dat, what's up? Suzanne Ann, I guess. That's it's kind of confusing there a little bit, I guess. George is in the house. Dolores, Julie, Candy, Kathy, Axe, Bean, what's going on? Not your business. From north of the border, hanging out with Axe. What's up, guys? But anyway, guys, I wish I could keep saying hi to you guys and we can just sit around and, chew the fat. But you know how that goes. And believe me, I got enough fat we could all live on for probably 3 years. So, you guys are ever wondering what my prepping plan is? I'm just going to cut pieces of my stomach off and I'll be good. I'm just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, guys, we do have some stuff going on the sun, and we are going to talk about it. And obviously, by judging by my thumbnail, you guys probably already know what's going on there. But I do want to say thanks, guys, to everybody. You guys are just so awesome. I just have to say, yeah. But I am going to put my PayPal link down here in the chat. If you guys want to help me out, that would be awesome. I do appreciate all the help I get. It's not ever expected. I don't expect anything. But just know when you guys do, it is, it's really greatly appreciated, and, it really makes me feel, I don't know, it makes me feel, I guess, loved in a certain way. Appreciated, I guess, is probably a better word. But I do, you guys, I really do. I really do appreciate it. I can't say it enough. I never thought in my life somebody would want to do that kind of thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Me and my family. So just know I do appreciate it. So we're going to move on from that. Before I do that, though, I do want to put the P.O. box in there real quick, because some people don't like to use the electronic stuff. And believe me, guys, I'm not so sold on using all the electronic stuff either. We just hear so many bad things that happen with that kind of stuff nowadays. But if you guys want to use snail mail, there it is. There's my P.O. box for anybody that wants to help me out there. But so we're just going to jump into this, guys. I hope you guys are all having a great one. But as you guys can see here, also, before I get started, when I play my intros like that and they have songs on there like that, sometimes on the playback, I have to actually go ahead and delete that part of the video, because what happens is it gets banned in certain countries. Typically it doesn't get banned here, but, it is what, hey, thanks, Lee. So, hey, Christine, Wolfie, what's up? But, yeah. So sometimes if you guys watch the playback, it won't have an intro. The reason is, if it does do that, they will send me an email saying it's being blocked in certain countries, and it gives me an option just to edit that part of the video out, and that's what I do. So yeah. Yeah, I know. that's and it's only on certain songs. And I've noticed with like Billy Joel songs, man, I tell you what, anytime anybody plays any Billy Joel song, hey Sharon, what's up? Good to see you. Carolyn, what's up? Russ. It is, yeah, for whatever reason, Billy Joel songs get hit like crazy. Is anybody else buffering? Just so anybody, I'm just trying to make sure I've seen somebody said they were buffering. I got good stream. But if you guys start having issues with that, let me know, and I'll see if I can't shut some stuff off. Again, guys, when I got all this stuff running, actually, am I got any of this running right now? Nope. Okay. So when we get there, we'll check that out. Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, Arizona Daniel, Sparky's in the house. That's right. Good to see all you guys. I will be heading over to Mark's after this, just so everybody knows. He's live right now too. I haven't been able to get on earlier. I have been trying to get on a little bit earlier because I like coming doing my stream and then trying to help Mark's channel out a little bit and trying to get everybody to go over there. Because it helps you guys too, because it's a positive outlet. And so that's what I'm all about, you know. Giving you guys information on in a positive way is my goal. Even though the information itself isn't so positive. So, but we're going to move on. Anyway, you got the Schumann. We talked about this part of it yesterday. It looks fairly quiet. Hey, Jeff, what's up, bud? But anyway, we got... it looks fairly quiet, right? And I've been hearing some, like chatter in the background that we've been seeing some spiking, like up to like 500. But it's not showing up on the tools, so I don't know where that information's coming from. So I can't validate that, so I can't say that that's what's actually going on. But, fact of the matter is, sometimes we all know that they don't always put it all out there the right way. So, but just looking at this, nothing big's going on, guys. Nothing really, and again, this is in Russia. I have to say this every video, that it is a regional tool, okay? Alright, so, back to the thumbnail. First thing we're going to talk about is go through the solar weather stuff here real quick. X-ray flux. You can see absolutely no flaring at all. And the reason being is because of this. There are no sunspots. Okay, we got this one over here rotating off, which, by the way, blew another one today. So, anyway, we'll take a look at that in a second. But as you see this, there are no sunspots. So, the X-ray is running low right now on the low end because that's what puts out the X-ray, is the flaring. Okay? Now, we don't have to always have a sunspot to have a flare. It happens outside of sunspots all the time. So, just let me say that first and foremost. Second, our baseline is low. So, it would take a pretty decent-sized flare to actually get us up into something we would be concerned about. So, right now, I'm not really too worried about flares. Also, that, when we get X-ray flux, or X-rays at all, sometimes if it's strong enough, this is radiation. Solar proton is. And they measure this by radiation storm levels. So what you're seeing there is a storm level increase here when it gets into that. Now, after we get hit with like a flare or whatever, sometimes you'll have a radiation storm behind it. That's kind of what happens sometimes. We see that quite often, matter of fact. But right now, obviously, with no flaring, we're not having any radiation. So, or uptick. We got some radiation always, and some X-rays always. But as far as anything to be concerned about, no, not at all. Geomagnetic activity. Guys, this is low. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's just low. This is really low conditions. And so why is it low? This right here explains it. And let me tell you what I'm talking about here. Remember I say look at the range, right? Well, first off, up here, guys, the BZ's hanging right around neutral, right around 0. So that means the angle is not really favorable for stuff to come into our system. And then, subsequently, the phi angle looks like it did a flip, which is I'm going to show you guys this again real quick. I haven't shown it in a minute, so I'll show it again real quick. This is I made a little graphic explaining what solar wind is. And what you got here, you got the sun, the earth. This white line right here is an IMF line. It's our magnetic connection to the sun. Interplanetary magnetic field lines. What we call solar wind is charged particles. Okay, that's what it is. So when those charged particles, how they get here is they travel on that magnetic connection between us and the sun. Given that being said, that also means that it has a polarity, negative and positive, and it could flip. It does it all the time. So when we're talking about the phi angle, that's what we're talking about, the polarity of the solar wind. So sometimes when it flips, we will see a jolt on our magnetosphere. Okay? So just know that. So when this thing is like going from high to low and then subsequently low to high, really close, really fluctuant, really quick, that's a polarity flip of the solar wind. So that's what we're looking at there. Now density, check this out. Now we got to look at the range. This is not high whatsoever. This is that's 2, 3, 4. That's probably about an average. It looks like it got into 6 or 7 up here a little bit. Remember, this is the ACE data, so they get theirs from that. But the solar wind itself is in yellow here. Look at the range on this, 280 to 330. Number one, that's only a 50 degree difference, 50 kilometers per second difference. So the fluctuation you're seeing here really isn't fluctuating that much. But what we are seeing here is a lower than normal solar wind speed. So when do you need to put your electronics in a Faraday cage, Russ? Man, that's a good question. Listen, if we're going to have a big CME, we'll have a few days to be aware of it, okay? So we'll have time with that. But as far as a big blasting flare that's going to just be like, bam, there it is at your doorstep and take us by surprise. Hey, Russell, what's up? Then, what I suggest, people that do the Faraday cage thing, the first thing I like to say to people that do Faraday cages is the fact that if you're going to protect certain electronic equipment with a Faraday cage, you have to make sure you have protected your source of energy. Because none of those things that you would protect would have any energy to run off of if you're not protecting it either. So if you think you got a generator outside that's going to kick in when all this stuff happens or so on and so forth, you have to protect that generator too. And you ain't putting that in no Faraday cage. You're going to have to, ground that out a certain different way unless you make some big, I've seen some people make their garages one big Faraday cage. It is possible. People have done that, and they've got these tarps that they made that actually they drape over their cars, and it's a big tarp Faraday cage type of situation that blocks EMP stuff from getting to their car electronics. So when stuff like this happens, or if it does happen with the big one, they'll still have a car to drive. But if you don't have the means to do something like that, I would suggest, there's a lot of suggestions out there that you could do. But if you got the means to do anything, maybe you could get those essential electrical components of your vehicle and have it and put those in a Faraday cage instead of the whole vehicle, so you could just swap it out and still have a car. That's kind of what I'm saying. Or you can do the smart thing and go buy an older car that doesn't have none of that crap. But those are classics. So anyway, you got the solar wind speed. It's definitely low. It's lower than normal. We shouldn't really be seeing wind speed this low. We do from time to time, but it's not something that's there often. Now, the Enlil graph here, guys, I've been showing you guys this for some time, and what I'm seeing right now is, guys, look, check it out. Check out the date. This thing has not updated since the 2nd. See, it says image created. The last time this updated was the 2nd at 1900 UTC time. So all this data we're looking at right here is invalid. We can't get nothing there. Hey, Terry, what's up, bud? Hoppasan, what's going on? Lip-de-loo. So, yeah. So let me I'm just going to skip over this because we have nothing to look at here, okay? So this, obviously none of this stuff is going to change until it updates. I don't know why it's not doing this, and we got other tools that are down right now too. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but we'll take a look at that here in a minute. Aurora, nothing really big going on there because we're low geomagnetically. See? So when we're that low, you can't expect to have any kind of aurora unless you're up here where it's always there. Okay? Good to see you, Terry. Good to see you, bud. Sharon, Marie. Hey, what's up, Marie? Yeah, I know. I think so too, Marie, sometimes. But anyway, if we're looking at this, you know, you see electron flux. It's fluctuating quite a bit. All right, it's kind of active. I don't want to say quite a bit. It's only going, you know, a difference of 2 numbers, okay, 2 units. So it's not like a big, huge spike, but it is activity. Typically, this is kind of a straight line, or a solid line, I should say. When you see this little up and down stuff right here, that means we're having some stuff going. The electrons are on the move. Electron flux just simply means a fluctuation from a baseline. It could be low, high, whatever, but it's just a fluctuation. It's telling you that the electrons are moving, which essentially, guys, if you think about that, that's electricity. That is the definition of electricity. It's the movement of electrons from one atom to the other. That's why copper and silver are really, really conductive, because they have the right amount of electrons to be given up some electrons, and they move. Okay? So that's kind of what happens there. Obviously, with the absorption prediction model here, we're not even going to look at it because we don't have any flares. That's what we look at for flares. Okay. So let's do this real quick. I'm going to update these, get these things running. And then we'll go look at the at seeds real quick before we do any of that. So what we're going to do here, guys, I'm going to take you back to the first. And this is LASCO C2. Notice no imaging. We got no imaging from the first at all here. Now we can look at LASCO C2 over at ISWA, and we'll check it out. I think we do have some data from the first on that one. But we go to the second, and this is where we started seeing the flares. Not the flares, I'm sorry. The filament releases. Because we had 2 of them in one day, right here. That was kind of one of them. It started on the first, and we didn't get to see it, obviously, because the data wasn't there. I think it did show up on the other LASCO C2 tool, but regardless, it wasn't here. But you see that, okay, that's one filament release, and then we get another one right behind it. And the second one, that it just showed you the second one here a second ago. And again, guys, please don't take any kind of stock into what just flashed across the screen there. Okay, all that is it is nothing more than either cosmic rays or charged particles that are really close to the camera or the satellite itself, and it's messing with the camera. Okay, that's all that it is. It's nothing more than that. So just kind of keep that in mind, okay? I know some people like to say that there are big fleets of UFOs and all that kind of mess. Sorry about me moving around here a little bit. Trying to find my pen. I don't know what I did with my pen. Daggone it. Anyway, I guess I'll move on. So yeah, it's not that's not a thing of, it's not a UFO fleet. Okay, I've just seen so many people say that. And think about it, guys. If there was a big UFO fleet that was right there, and that's what this was showing, do you honestly think they wouldn't just take that and just shove it down in the dirt somewhere? Even if they accidentally got out for a minute, it wouldn't be here right now. I guarantee you that. So just kind of take that into consideration, okay? Plus, we can recreate these kinds of things ourselves by using cameras and, doing whatever we need to do to put some sort of charge around it, and you're going to get that kind of signature. So anyway, as you can see, we got one filament release there, and then we got a second one. So let's go to the third, and there's the third one. Okay. Actually, there's one on the end of that too, and so we got filaments blowing, guys. These are filaments. Okay. Hey Jen, what's up? Survival. What's up? Lady Jan. But anyway, so Sharon, I think I said hi to you already. Sorry about that. Steve. So let me take you guys over to the CME Tracker. Let me see if I can't find this stupid thing. Is this it? Nope. I might not have yeah, I didn't have it. Okay, hold on. Let me get that up for you guys real quick, okay? Won't take but a second. So, we've had this one now. Okay, this one's going to miss Earth. But the one that happened before this, they're now predicting it to hit us. And they're predicting it to put us into storm level. Okay? Now, the one that happened, the first one that happened that looked like it was going to hit us too, it's got a good chance of missing us. Okay? Because we couldn't tell the angle of it yet until all the data come in. And I was telling everybody that, because the last time they come out and said, hey, we got big geomagnetic storms, going on, we didn't really see it on other models. We just seen it on like one or two models and didn't really see it much anywhere else, and it didn't hit us. It actually did hit us, but the angle was wrong. So when it actually helped fit, and the polarity was wrong too. So it actually helped fill in the cracks in our magnetic field, and it actually blocked itself pretty much. So that's pretty much what happened there. But this is that third filament release, quote unquote CME. Okay, there was no flaring or large CME stuff with this. These are filament releases. Okay, I showed you guys that yesterday. They look like black little snakes across the surface of the sun. And they lift off and they bust like the filament in your incandescent light bulbs do. Old style light bulbs. Okay? So, anyway. This is the magnetopause tools, guys. Okay? Now, we've got... This is where I'm having a little bit of issue. Okay? We have got low space weather conditions. Solar wind speeds really low. Density really isn't that high. But yet we're taking these big smacks on our magnetosphere. So let me get these going here and I'll show it to you. People that don't know what this model is, it's showing you lines of magnetism. And you've got interplanetary magnetic field lines. These blue ones, those are the lines that carry the solar wind to us. Okay? For sure, Popcorn, you can give me all the money you want. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Anyway, so what we're looking at here, these IMF lines are getting broken. And that's pretty normal nowadays, all right? Again, it's our connection to the sun and other celestial objects. The black lines are the pole lines. They come off of the poles. See them? They're supposed to go out and stretch out towards the back. That would be their normal in a perfect condition. The red ones are called closed field lines. Okay? But with low solar wind speed and not really that high density, why are we seeing time after time the past few days this stuff? Okay? It just, I don't know. If Popcorn's asking for my PayPal, can somebody put that in there for me? Yeah, Ashley, you're right. They do. Like I said, these are all magnetic connections. The interplanetary magnetic field lines. They're magnetic. So they have a charge. Thank you, Wolfie. There it is, Popcorn. Thank you, bud. What's up, Bob? But anyway, we got this going on here, and why are we getting these decent sized little hits, and we're not having? And these are day after day after day, guys. This isn't something that's just one time. We're looking at stuff that keeps happening during conditions where we're kind of slow. It really isn't that much of an uptick. So if we grab this one, I'll get it to where that stuff starts hitting us. Okay, so let me take it back here to the start. Watch it kind of bubble here and over here. Watch what happens. Okay, you're starting to see a little bit of pressure build up here, right? And watch it move, okay? Guys, the sun's off to the right. So you got to understand that for things to go from left to right towards the sun, it's behind our bow shock, which is actually blocking a lot of it, but it still takes a little extra to push it that way. Has to. No, you don't need to put your electronics in no cage right now. I can't tell you when you need to. I can't tell that. I can't say whatever's right for you. You do what you think is comfortable, but in my opinion, I would wait unless you're just going to keep stuff in it anyway. Because let's just like I said, a CME, we're going to have some warning. An EMP is really what people should be concerned about there. But watch this energy move from left to right, and then it starts contorting on the top. See it? It's not doing it on the bottom. So what's that telling us? It's telling us that this is directional. And the other day it was coming from over here. The bottom of it was. So watch it. It fixes itself. And that's what we do. The Earth does that. It's doing its job. Earth's doing its job. It's that simple. But why are we seeing these kinds of signatures during conditions that are really, really low? We shouldn't be seeing these kinds of conditions, is what I'm trying to say. Now, there's a lot of factors that could be causing some of it. Our magnetic field is weaker than what it was. All right, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Terry. That's I wish I was more knowledgeable about reading the seismos and stuff like that. He was stating that the earthquake that was reported, and I'm just going to show it to you guys now. Here, that was a 6.1 according to USGS. Now Terry has got other places he can look, and he knows how to read these seismos and things. And they see waves that I don't see because I'm just not that knowledgeable yet. Ricky's real good about it. So is Ron Tyler. I would send you guys over there, Emergency Management Associates. If somebody wants to drop their links in there, they can. Terry, you're welcome to drop your link too, buddy. Any of my mods that have channels, that option is always there for you. If you want to drop your link, you can. I'm not going to get mad. I just want to support everybody. Okay? As long as you ain't like spamming it every 2 seconds or something. I mean, obviously. But yeah. So, I just don't know what's going on, But yeah, I'm not sure what to think about all this and all that. But you got the 6.1 here. And what was strange to me, and Terry might be able to weigh in on this a little bit. He knows a lot more about this than I do. That there were no aftershocks being reported. There's nothing there except for the one. Yeah, you're right, Terry. That's what I was trying to say the other day. I don't know the earthquake part of it as well as you do, and Mark and Ron. and I think I understand the solar part of it a little better than probably what you and Ron do. And it's just because that's my part, you know. And you guys are doing what you guys do, and that goes back to what I say all the time. That is, it takes all of us. Okay, and that's why I promote and I want to help other people grow. And that's just what I'm saying, you know. And I will definitely stand by what I'm saying here. I don't care what anybody else says to me. Nobody's going to tell me who and what I can put out here or support. People can get mad at me all they want. I mean, it just is what it is. I don't see any, you know, like I said, if I don't agree with what somebody's saying, like completely, like, oh my gosh, that was one of the dumbest things I ever heard type of things, obviously, I'm not going to promote that channel, okay? But if somebody's out there giving a genuine try, and I think that they're genuine and all that, you know, I have no problem trying to help somebody out. And I think that, you know, I think everybody kind of sees that a lot. And I think all of us need to do that. So that's why I allow you guys just to go ahead and put your links in there whenever you need to. So I don't know. Oh, was it? Okay. So anyway, what you guys are seeing here, guys, again, that is probably the biggest quake of the day. Terry said that some of the info came in. It was more likely a 7.5 or a 7.9 or something like that. I don't. Oh, you don't have a channel? Okay, cool. I thought you did. I know you're over at Ron's all the time, so I just sometimes I assume that, and that's kind of why, I guess, maybe. But anyway, you see these right here, guys. I mean, and we're getting some on the border here, some quakes too. This one here was a little large, but I just found it kind of odd that there wasn't more aftershocks involved with that one. That's a sizable quake. Now, if we were to go, now check this out. I'm going to change the settings here a little bit, and we will go look at the last week, 2.5 and bigger. Okay, so this really is probably a better look. There you go, Axe. That's right. Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate that. But guys, these are all 2.5 or bigger, and obviously the bigger circles, they typically will be the bigger quakes. But notice all that, okay? And I like to show this to people too, is the fact that they're all on, the majority of them are on the fault lines and the plate boundaries and all that kind of stuff, right? You know, look at these down here. Most people kind of can't understand why, you know, they would think that this would be odd. It's not. Because, you know, these are on the lines here, number one. Number two, we do see quakes down here consistently. Not all the time, but that's what I would say. And again, I am not the Quake person, okay? I'm trying to learn it the best I can, and I will get better. I've gotten better. You know, when I come out and say something about a quake, it's because of some solar activity that I've seen. That's where that's the only thing I really got to add to all that. I can't really add anything else because I don't have the knowledge base. Okay? But I am learning. I'm going to Ron's channel a lot. I've been watching some of Ricky's videos. Obviously, all of us kind of watch Dutch. He can't, I don't think he looks at seismos and stuff. But, I mean, you can't argue the fact that he's pretty good at predicting things. That's what I would say. So, you know, that is what it is. So, let's do this. This is spaceweather.com. And they're talking about the eruptions too here on the sun. They don't know, they haven't had a chance to report on the one I just showed you guys. It's not coming at Earth anyway, but they're talking about this, and they're talking about that it looked like it might have been going south of Earth, but it's not. At least according to Noaa. And they're using Noaa here too. Oh, I forgot to show you guys that. Okay, here's the predictions. If you look over here, this is spaceweather.com. It's Noah's site. Okay, January 4th, these are the KP numbers. KP numbers are down here for people that don't know. Geomagnetic activity. A KP of 5 directly relates to a G1 magnetic storm. Okay, and so on and so forth as you go up in number. So what this is representing is the KP number, these over here. So on the 6th, they are saying that we're going to be in a G1 storm. That's their prediction. And, you know, when you see the number 4 here, that's just one number below. So whenever you see that, sometimes it'll be enough that it'll put us up in the storm level before. We may hang out there longer. We may not be there as long. And we may not even get to the storm level. We don't know until it gets here. So, but we are fairly decent at being able to know at least some sort of a percentage of the chance that we might get into this stuff. Now, what does this all mean, right? I get that question all the time. Geomagnetic storm, what can we expect with that? Well, I've shown you guys this a lot lately anyway. This is what we can expect. G-level 1 storms will give you these conditions. Weak power grid fluctuations, minor impact on satellite operations. These low-level storms can affect the animal's navigation capabilities. Okay, so if you see the animals start having a little bit of craziness going on, that this could actually be part of it. That's, you know, G2. Everything a G1 can do, a G2 can do better. I like to say that because that's kind of what it is. You can add stuff, right? Notice that this happens 600 times in an 11-year period, a sun cycle. If we go back to you get it 1,700 times for a G1. That's quite a bit, guys. Just saying. So, that's what we can expect. G3, obviously, this is where we start really paying attention big time. Because this is where we're talking about power systems, having voltage alarms, all that other kind of stuff, right? So, and we can keep going up. We know what happens. Most of us do. You know, you start talking about a G5, you're talking about some big time stuff. Okay? You will absolutely see some issues if we get to a G5. Whether it's communications, whether it's breakers tripping out, higher latitudes up towards the poles and stuff. A G5 that's giving us a G5 down here where we're at, well, where most of us are at in lower latitudes, a G5 storm would be just cranking on the north and south pole. So that's what I would say. It's worse there, always. That in the South Atlantic Anomaly is also a ripe spot for geomagnetism to kind of come into. The South Atlantic Anomaly is down here. It is a section of our magnetic field that is not, it doesn't act normal. Okay, it's different down here. Strange stuff happens, such as compasses don't work. All those kinds of things. Now, they work in certain areas and stuff, but this is one of those, it's kind of like, you know, people that live in the States, we all know what the Bermuda Triangle is, right? We always hear about the folklore and stuff behind that. Well, there is a magnetic disruption up here that stays there. It's just not very strong. So you have to kind of understand that some of that probably is magnetics. So, but the South Atlantic Anomaly has actually split into two now. It used to be about this big. Okay, now it's split into two. It pretty much encompasses all of South America and is now over here in Africa too. It's split. It's gotten bigger. What's it mean when it splits? It means it's adding another pole. That's what it's doing. So what does that point to? Well, it points to our magnetics changing. Okay, we always talk about, you know, the pole flip and all that kind of stuff. Magnetic pole flip. I'm not talking about geographic. Okay, there's a lot of stuff there that we can try to unpack. But I don't know. Bean, yeah, the dues probably would leave a resonance signature. But we have to understand, like I said before, that those tools are regional. They're very localized. So wherever that is being fired out, if we ever were to see that kind of stuff, yes, it would in that area, but it wouldn't be a global thing if it was a DEW, okay? So we have to understand that part of it. Let's see here. Geoelectric field, this is our space weather's effect on our electrical grid. Unnatural electronic components is what they say this is looking at. Okay, and let's just push play there. So what we're looking at here is they're trying to represent space weather's effect on our grid, all of our electrical components. Okay, so yeah, there you have it. Not much going on there. Okay, hey Terry, if you're still in here, I'm not sure if you're still here or not, bud. But I want to get with you and Ron and probably Ricky and maybe do a show if you guys are willing to do that. I would love to have you guys on to talk about some earthquakes and some prepping stuff. And I want to get Rip involved in the prepping stuff too, because I think that I get a lot of questions on what should I do, all that kind of stuff, So I would love to be able to bring those guys over here to my channel and let all you guys, if you guys haven't been exposed to them yet, you will. Okay? They got some really great information. They really do, guys. It's great stuff. Now, they're going to tell you, they're going to, like if you go listen to Ron and Terry both, you need to have a list of things already mapped out and stuff, because you should. You really should. That's just common sense in my opinion. Now, it doesn't mean we need to go straight up over the edge. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we all need to prep to the level that we think where we're comfortable, and then maybe go one step further, just for security. And prepping's going to be a lot of different things to a whole lot of different people. We're not all going to be prepping the same. You guys have to understand that, different parts of where you live in this on this big rock we call Earth, you need to prep differently. It's just what it is. Keith, I think that if you ask, is this normal in the long run? What I would say to that is the fact that everything is normal in the long run. Because if given enough time, everything will repeat itself. And that's why I say it like that. Because it will. The conditions that we're experiencing now have probably been experienced before. It's going to, whatever the future holds for us has probably happened before. We have evidence of these major catastrophes, guys. I mean, that's just what it is. And I don't typically talk about that part of what we do here, because it is such a negative thing. And I don't want people thinking that, nobody's going to be able to tell you exactly when the catastrophe will happen. And I said that before. If somebody's going to try to give you a date, you might need to just walk away from that person. Because that's just, the only time those people are right is the one time that they are right. Every other time that they've come on their channels or tried to talk to people, thousands of, hundreds of videos saying it's going to happen this day, that day, they just keep moving the goalpost. You have to wonder, guys. You really do. You have to wonder. So yeah. So let me see what else we got here. See if I missed anything. We can take a look at the Australian model, guys. Again, you're going to see the proton and stuff jumping around, the density. I like this model. Shout out to my Aussies, by the way. Love my Aussies out there. Because this thing is so simple. This isn't going to show you lines of magnetism like this did. Okay, but this gives you the general idea and conditions about what's going on. This is representing our bow shock. That's our first line of defense. Well, let me put it to you this way. That bow shock is nothing more than the spot where the solar wind meets our magnetic field. That's all that it is. It's that location. That's why it's here. When you see it moving, bouncing back and forth, that's giving you the impression that, we're getting hit and it's lightening up. Compression, rapid expansion, all that stuff we talked about before. So when this thing is bouncing around, that means, we're getting some either higher wind speed or higher density, or both. So we'll watch it on the third. You're going to see it jump around a little bit. But watch the proton density here. That's the density we talk about. It's going to, see how it dropped to like 2 and 1? And when it does, the bow shock moves out. Because it's not pushing on us as hard. But when it starts to increase again, what's it do? It starts moving back in towards us. So, yeah. So I don't know. But I do think, excuse me, sorry guys. This is the most simple model for people that are really just trying to get a good start in what we're looking at. This is probably the one I would send them to, because it's so easy to understand. That's the Earth. This is the satellite line. Okay, it's that simple. This is the wind speed right there. This is the density. This is the BZ, the angle. Okay? When that's in negative, that means it's favorable for stuff to come in. When it's not, that means it's not. When that goes up, that means we got more density. When this is, rising or lowering, that means the wind speed itself is moving back and forth. So, we'll watch that again. Now, I could take it back to the second. We could probably even, I bet it's bouncing around a little bit more on the second. But, again, there's a lot of things that can push our bow shock. The main two things would be density and speed. Okay? So, sometimes the speed will stay the same, and our density will increase and we'll take a hit. Other times, the speed will increase, and the density will stay the same, and we'll take a hit. So, that's what I would say, But yeah. Let me, get that off there real quick. Alright. Let's do this.
For everyone, a plan of...
Okay, so listen. You guys got any questions at all? If you do, just pop them in the chat for me, and I'll try to answer them. But I'm going to be going over here to Mark's channel. If you guys want to follow me over here, I would love you guys to. Anybody that's in here that goes to Mark's can vouch that this guy knows what he's doing. He is so intelligent on the music and just trying to be positive. Okay? He does face swaps. He's a celebrity impersonation. He does improv music. He's dropping albums now. He was a finalist on VH1 Song of the Year. All that kind of stuff. But he is nothing but positivity. I send my people over here or you guys, so you guys can get some positivity. Okay? Look at this. Ed Asner calls in at the top. You guys know who Ed Asner is? The young people might not, but the older people will. He is he's the boss on the Mary Tyler Moore Show from back when I was a kid. So he, are you... Yes, Bob. We talked to him the other day, guys. You guys don't know that. Anybody that's kind of new here, Ed Asner's already called into the show once before. So it was awesome. to be able to talk to Ed Asner. Guys, you got to understand, that guy he's in his 90s, I think. But he's still sharp as a tack. He's funny still. I mean, the guy is awesome. So if anybody wants to come over here, he's a star. You guys got to understand how big of a star Ed Asner is. I know the young people might not know who he is, but yeah. Yeah, he's Lou Grant from the Mary Tyler Moore Show. And I think he was actually Mary Tyler Moore's manager in real life, if I remember right. Why'd y'all hide Anita for? Oh, I had to be a mistake. Somebody unhide her. I'll unhide her if I can. Yeah, I got you. Hopefully that fixed it. I think that was an accident. Yeah, I don't think Jerry meant to do that. Hey guys, that happens, guys. It does. Alright? So, just know. But listen, guys, we're going to go over here. If you guys could, just follow me over here. Let's have some positivity. It's in the weekend and the holiday season on some laughs. Please come over here and check us out. If you guys haven't checked us out over here, please do. You guys will not regret it. It's a fun time. I will be in the chat. Ed Asner, it says he called in at the top, so he's probably already called in. So you might be able to watch that part on a replay. But just know, you guys, you will laugh. I promise. That is a promise. Nobody's ever come back to me and complained about me giving them, sending them over here. Just know that. So there's the link again, guys. If you guys could, just follow me over there. Follow everybody else, too, that's in here, guys. Support all our mods and anybody that's running channels. Please do. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, I'm heading over there. You guys have a great start to your week. And we're going to keep moving, all right, guys? God bless. Yahusha saves, and